Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. So I've been talking about cannabis a lot lately. Part of the reason is it's kind of a niche topic. It also, people seem to be interested in it. It's kind of a Thailand specific thing also, especially out here in Asia. But the biggest issue I have with it now is something that goes a little bit deeper, and something that I've noticed over the years is something, quite honestly, Thailand could use some self-reflection on when it comes to the issue of lawmaking and policymaking. And that is, and I totally understand that in the Thai mind, it can move very quickly and it can change. The Thai zeitgeist can change. You know, the Thai paradigm can shift in a lot more quicker of a way than I think most Westerners actually give it credit for. And so if you've lived here a long time, you've sort of assimilated a little bit to how Thailand works. It doesn't really bother you in the long run that they can make these major policy shifts just seemingly at the drop of a hat and then just sort of keep on moving. Again, for Westerners, this is very problematic. But again, for those who are unaware, the cannabis situation, it was delisted as a narcotic. It was legalized in 2022. And then now they're looking to rescind all of that and just sort of, in one fell swoop, sort of pull the rug out from under a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people who've detrimentally relied on the law change. And it's brought up the fundamental issue of consistency in law and policy. And I really got to thinking of this after reading a recent comment on one of the prior videos, quoting directly. So if Thailand changes to a 99-year lease for a property, and I buy a property, I think they mean I engage in a 99-year lease, quoting further, will they take my land away a year or two later? Is any law stable there? What is going on over there? So the point being made is, and we've discussed in prior videos, there's been some talk about changing the law on the duration of leases here in Thailand. So for the time being, duration of leases maxes out at 30-year leasing in the vast majority of cases. That said, there's been discussion about going up to 50-year or even 99-year leases. And as this commenter pointed out, what happens if they do go to that? They do go to 99-year leases, and then 2 years later, a new government comes in and rescinds that. Do those 99-year leases get abrogated back to 30 years? Do they get, quote unquote, grandfathered in, and then moving forward, it's just a different regime after that? All of these are good questions, and they're the exact reason for consistency in law and policy. And this is one of the major problems I think that we could see resulting from this cannabis situation, as I've discussed in other videos. The notion that foreign investors could be looking at Thailand, seeing this issue and saying, wow, that's really arbitrary and capricious. We don't really want to invest there because that's the way their legal system works. All of these are good questions, and just generally speaking, I think it's worth pointing out that consistency, unlike what I believe it was Justice Hugo Black pointed out in a prior Supreme Court opinion in the United States, I believe he said a foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. I think he was quoting Thoreau. But basically, there's the argument in some cases where consistency can be a bad thing. It's sort of almost a very narrow-minded way of looking at the law. But in terms of major shifts that can happen overnight and detrimentally impact an entire industry, and also will be looked at by possible foreign direct investors into Thailand, I don't think a consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. I think it's something that in and of itself is laudable.